More than 14 years of coaching experience, including spending the last 4 in San Francisco under Kyle Shanahan as the 49ers run game specialist to the run game coordinator, and now boasts the title of offensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, Mike McDaniel. Has that title officially sunk in for you yet?
Yes and no. It's there's so many years you spend in your life trying to reach goals that you have in the back of your mind, and this is obviously one of them for me, but it's much of the same in terms of you come to work and try to execute your job at the highest level. So it's like coming to work like I always have, but you sometimes have to take a step back and be like, wait, is this really true? Did I actually was I able to achieve those goals that I've just been obsessed about for so many years? So it is cool. It hasn't really sunk in, but at the same time, it's just doing the only thing I know how to do. That's be a football coach in the off season ever since I graduated college.
I love that you led us to goals, because I want to start off by telling a story that I'm not sure everybody is aware of. But as a Colorado native, you used to attend Broncos training camp. Back when you were 10 years old, you lost a very special hat to you. You were devastated. You were heartbroken. But that incident ended up initiating a relationship with then assistant video director Gary McCune, who replaced your hat. And through that relationship, you became a ball boy for them in high school. After college, you came back and interned in Denver, kicking off your coaching career. But looking at your journey, we can go so much deeper into that story, but I want to talk about your journey, getting your start as an intern, spending time with the United Football League, making your way back to the NFL and working your way up the ranks. What does this promotion mean to 10-year-old Mike, and also now offensive coordinator Mike?
When you phrase it like that, it almost makes me want to get emotional, because it is a journey. That's a great way to phrase it. It is a journey that takes a lot personally, but your support system has to be on point. There's so many things that have to go right for that to be an actual opportunity, and so it is surreal. It's really exciting. At the same time, it's nothing has been done now immediately. Instead of just basking in the glory of promotion, you don't really even look at it that way. Immediately, you're trying to prove your worth and prove the people right that have really invested in you and invested in your career and giving you opportunities, and et cetera, et cetera. So it instills a level of hunger on top of the hunger that you already had.
So I want to detail this start and this passion for football. To my knowledge, you scribbled a message to yourself inside of your helmet growing up that said, "I will be in the NFL." And you're not wrong, because you are. But where did this passion begin? Where did it come from?
That's good investigative reporting right there. That is true. One of the things that was special about growing up in Denver, and just that area of the country, and really in my family background, the Denver Broncos, there was such a allure about them, and John Elway, and you could really see something tangible in front of you in terms of a way to be successful and do something cool in with your life. I think my mom really built me up as a child to basically made sure that I didn't have any limitations on my expectations of myself. And in that process, I got very goal ambitious, but I also was reasonable and understood the numbers to a degree, and I was very, very careful with that word choice in that helmet. I was basically saying I will coach in the NFL, because I knew that it was the chances were slim to play. But to answer your question, it was the environment, it was the vision of trying to do something better with my life than my circumstances around me really provided. And then some reasonability of, hey, I may not be able to play in the NFL, but if I study the game and am passionate enough about it, I can help people that have the physical tools to play the world's greatest sport on the highest level and make them better. I can certainly do that.
I want to start with how down the road your passion ultimately intertwined your relationship with Kyle Shanahan. The two of you built a working and a personal relationship while serving under Gary Kubiak back in Houston. No one has coached around Kyle longer than you have. 13 years dating back to your time with the Texans. But how, looking at you guys' history together, how does the longevity and experiences through 5 different franchises that you've both worked for together, how does that play a part in how you guys prepare for games or maybe bounce ideas off of one another? Does your relationship benefit from that longevity?
It certainly does, because you're able to draw on similar experiences, and memory is fallible. So the having a resource to double check and be like, hey, how did we do this? Or what was this reason? Or how did we attack this type of defense front of coverage? It's very helpful, because you don't have to take that extra step and to explain the whys on whatever belief you have when you're experiencing them together. One of the things that has been very consistent with Kyle and I through our working relationship is that we try our best to think outside the box. And when you're doing that, you're not living in the black and white, you're going to have disagreements, you're going to have theories, you're going to have different opinions. And we thrive in that way, but we also are very, the way Kyle and really his dad had kind of instilled in how we operate is you also have to be very honest with yourself in evaluating, okay, well, we did this, or this. This is what happened. This is why it worked. This is why it didn't. And those valuable things while working together really it expedites the entire process when you're looking at how we function today, because you're not having to say, okay, well, no, we want to run this concept against this defensive structure because of X, Y, or Z. The because is already established from our trial and error in past experiences.
Something that stands out when I see both you and Kyle is you both have the swag. You guys have this coach's swag. Who started this off? Did you guys just notice one another, or was it like, okay, he's kind of got it going on, let me step my game up? How did this whole thing come about?
It's one conversation to who wore it better, and I'm not going to get into who wore it better, but in terms of some of the swag, I think if you ask him and he's answers you honestly, factual evidence would say that I started the swag. But no, I think we're both Colorado kids, and we had our own unique experiences, but whether it was conditioning or whatever, we had a similar West Coast-ish flavor, and I think that we've always been, now we're kind of older now, but we've always been the younger coaches, kind of a little closer knit to the players in that regard. So I would really love if you'd ask him and see if he would own up to it. But I would say I'm the swag originator, but he's probably the one that would bring a lot more notoriety to our swag.
Noted. I definitely will do a follow-up with Kyle and make sure he mentions the originator of the swag. I feel like it's appropriate to quote a Drake song because literally you started from the bottom and now you're here. You worked your way through the ranks and here with your new role with the 49ers. As the offensive coordinator, How do your duties change? How much of your responsibilities differ from what you've done in previous seasons?
There's no greater pressure put on an individual than Kyle puts on his assistant coaches, putting pressure on them to be their very best. The one thing Kyle's always been is he's very open to thoughts, ideas, and opinions, and kind of creates an environment where that's encouraged. There might be more game planning responsibility to a degree, but every year I've been completely invested in the run and pass game plans, just even when I was a run game coordinator. So it's just more of the same, natural evolution, really. But again, it's just doing whatever, just like every other coach in our staff, doing whatever I can to empower the play caller for Sunday so we can win football games.
With that, we can't wait to see more of your fingerprints all over this offense. Again, congrats on the promotion, and we can't wait to see what you've got in store for us in 2021.
I appreciate it sincerely, and nobody's more excited about 2021 than me. I promise you that.
Hey, faithful, don't forget to click here and subscribe.